we are reaching a very critical time in crypto. That's because institutional capital is just coming in after the ETFs were launched. There's more and more interest. And today we have a project that's not only catering to institutional finance, but bridging that with everyone and with AI so we can all have the same competitive advantage. And that's Metafide. Essentially, what they're doing is they've been working in the past with institutional customers, but they're releasing a lot of their tech and their AI to us normies, well, anyone that's in crypto. And on top of that, you can actually play with on-chain transactions right now. And if you smell that, you know that there is a potential very powerful airdrop coming your way. We're gonna take you step by step on how to generate these transactions and do it for cheap. It actually costs less than $1. So if you like this and everything, make sure you stay till the end. And before we start, I'd like to give a special thanks for Elevate Ventures. They've been recommending this product. They've been doing all the research and they've been talking to them directly. So thank you guys for doing all the research for us and recommending Metafide. Before we move on, of course, everything covered here is my personal opinion, not financial advice. Let's get started. All right, to start off, let's just talk about what is Metafide. So Metafide at this very critical stage is its allocation and risk partner. So what it does is it provides ratings for different cryptocurrencies. So say, for example, it's rating Bitcoin, the godfather, as AAA, and recently it rated Ethereum as just A. So it looks at volume, it looks at a lot of data around this to kind of combine and make a ratings assessment. So this is almost like your Standard & Poor's rating for stocks. It gives you an idea of how much risk there is, how everything's balanced. And this actually provides a lot of power for institutional clients because they need to justify how much to their clients. You know, if you're an institutional manager and you're saying, okay, we're picking these different coins, you need to have a rating, right? So this actually provides a direct rating. And it also does it in a powerful way. There's actually documentation. You can use their APIs to collect the rating so you can up that in real time in your database. So they actually built that backend for this already. So that's one of the core functionalities. It's just making it a lot easier for institutional customers to come in and to get a rating for different cryptocurrencies. And you can actually search and discover there. So they actually have a lot of cryptocurrencies in there. Then on top of that, the next step I would say that's really, really powerful that I've been looking at is they're starting to make tools that incorporates AI. So the neural engine in AI, the learning ability of AI to make decisions to invest, they're kind of tuning that with the general public as well to make this ultimate product. So I feel like that's where like a lot of power is coming in. It's combining basically their knowledge of institutional capital, their AI database, but finally connecting the final piece, which is the community. So they actually have two tools that they can do this right now, but there's a lot more coming. So that's where kind of the next sexy part comes in. This is where you can get airdrops because at this current play, you can play with that AI. There's two tools you can play with the AI and you can play with these virtual feed tokens I can do right now. So how this works is that if you beat the AI, you get more tokens. If you lose against the AI, you lose tokens. And this is a good way to balance out the good traders and the input of the good traders from the bad traders. So if you have a good trading history, you're gonna be doing super good. If you're not, well, not. So that's kind of a use for the token. And like, right now, you can actually have a faucet. You can actually request tokens. And these are not real tokens, these are test tokens, but you can actually request them right now. So I'll show you the process of how to do everything here, especially if you wanna play with the AI to get potential airdrops. So first and foremost, you want to be on Mantle. So I'm going to connect my wallet to Mantle. And if you want, you should. You need to get this approval for Mantle here and switch your MetaMask from Ethereum to Mantle and assign for the faucet. If you need Mantle, the easiest way to get Mantle is to actually withdraw it from Bybit. It actually costs $0. The withdrawal is completely free. So you can literally withdraw just like 10 Mantle, $6 worth of Mantle. And in fact, right now, Bybit, a lot of competitions to give you Mantle for free. So this is like, yeah, nothing. The request amount per day is 100. So you just, why you need Mantle is just this transaction here. You need to sign this to get the free feed token. And then once you get the free feed token, it just appears in your wallet. To see the feed tokens in your wallet, you just have to add this address. I'll put the address on as well. So you just add this here, tokens, import tokens, put the contract address there, and you'll see the feed tokens, and you can start playing around. So you have 100 feed, and you can request 100 per day to play. Now there's two real ones to play. I'll put the links down below of how to play with these. But one is the range competition. So objective of this game is to really find where the range of Bitcoin is going to be within the next 5 minutes. So the easiest way to explain is that in the next 5 minutes, Bitcoin can go up and down, and you want to make sure that you find a range which encapsulates the Bitcoin. So you don't want Bitcoin to be dropping below the range that you predict, and you want also the top to be, the highest point. Yet again, these numbers are really important for traders because that really sets the boundaries for where market makers should target for the price of crypto. So you can see where you're playing with the AI. The AI has numbers already, but you're trying to outsmart the AI. And by doing so, you actually fine tune the AI too. So at this point, let's say, for example, I maybe believe that the AI is a little bit too optimistic. Let me set a lower limit that's a little bit lower and a high that's a little bit higher. And I can set position and confirm that and play. You can now see that this is an on-chain transaction. So the MetaMask popped up. You can see that the transactions are happening on chain. And yet again, this is really powerful because if you want to be rewarded for airdrops, for anything in the future, you want to be generating these on-chain transactions early. And there's a lot to generate. So it shouldn't be just a case where you just play one game and call it a day. Playing 4 or 3 games and just try to help fine tune their AI. That is where the power is going to come in. So you can also see other people's active positions and where their predictions are. So you can see that now that the timer is up, I've entered into this game and you can see what the limits are. So right now my positions are 61,190 and 67,225. So this bracket over here. All right. Makes it a little bit more clear. All right, the UI is not super good yet, to be honest. I feel like they can probably do a little bit more to show where my price and the AI is, so to see where it is. So I feel like this is where you'll benefit from making a bot. Like if you make a bot where you know where their AI forecast is and you know where your AI forecast is, and then you can actually enter the competition and just kind of play against the bot to actually see if you can win or not. And yet again, it's all about tuning the bot. The bot will learn from this because everything is on chain, right? So the bot will actually have that data, which is quite interesting, which makes use of blockchain technically. All right, the other one I can play is the forecast as well. So this is actually a lot easier to figure out on what's happening. So all you have to do is to choose if you're going over and under. And I think this serves more as a demo of kind of the user input than anything else. So let's say, for example, you want to choose the current price is 61,129, and if AI forecast is going to be higher and maybe you think that it's lower, so choose lower, right? Connect wallet. Let me just do this. So after approving everything, so it does take a bit of time. All right, now I can choose. All right, there we go. All right, now I can choose 50 feed and go. So yeah, yet again, this is probably a very much easier to understand game to play. It's less useful than the range competition. The range competition, I would say, is you can actually fine tune the AI and it's really good for discovering where market makers should be placing their orders. But this is much easier to understand. It's like, okay, AI thinks it's gonna be this price. Do you think it's gonna be higher? Do you think it's gonna be lower? This is actually much easier to play here. But you can see what they're trying to do here. They're always trying to have a way for you to create user input to play against their AI. And currently it's free to play, but I can see that this is where the AI can really get fine-tuned, right? Because AI right now is really easy to make, right? Everyone's like, you can just like throw things in the ChatGPT and you can even make that, right? But what's more important is how to fine-tune that so it's in a tradable state, right? That's actually powerful. And getting the community to play against AI, that's the way to get this forward. So let's talk about advantages and disadvantages of this. So first and foremost, they already built quite a bit of stuff. They already built the rating system out and their AI is already getting fine-tuned. So I actually feel like they made I would say 10% progress to where they want to go. So it's not zero, but it's a good 10% product. And so we actually see that they're not a startup. They're already got something in motion and they got institutional backing. That's good. Their CEO also recently appeared in quite a few financial publications and on TV. So yeah, there's a lot of authority there and there's a lot of trust already being built. He's also predicted the price of Bitcoin. So check that out.
$100,000 for Bitcoin. That's your call by the end of the year. Trading right now just shy of $60,000. How does it get there?
They also got pretty good backing. So Cogita Ventures and Comma 3 Ventures, they're actually quite big names on there, which is actually quite good because yet again, they've had that institutional experience. So they have friends that can vouch for their work. In terms of weaknesses, I think the biggest weakness they have is communication. So right now they're getting traction, but because they're so corporate in their speech, they're less shit talkers, if you get what I mean. Like if you look at their Twitter, they have to engage both with their institutional customers and with the general crypto degens. So their language isn't as degen and the communication isn't as strong. So I feel like they still have to find the right tone that suits both of them, like both sides very well. The second part is I feel like there's a lot of build ahead of them, right? AI is a very, very competitive field. And with being in the AI field, it's a crazy race and they really need to prove that they're constantly ahead of the competition. So this is a project that I will have to monitor and say, okay, look, is their AI stronger than other competing projects? Because at the end of the day, AI can be like 10 times stronger or 100 times stronger. And you see that the race, especially when it comes to the big giants, when it comes to neural networks and the big giants, it's always about money. Right? How much money they can spend on getting the biggest supercomputer to make the AIs work. That's going to happen here. And what we need to make sure is that these guys are on the top, the bleeding edge of AI, because, otherwise you just fall behind and your strategies are going to be obsolete. So if you're interested in this project at all, you should definitely try a lot of this. And because it's on Mantle, the cost is just minimal. You can actually see when I just played around with it, like just a few times, you're basically spending like less than $1, right? That's ridiculous. So you can actually play around, check that out. And of course, you can tell by the number of Discord users is still quite early. And that's actually good because they have a lot of institutional backing and they have the money. So yeah, I'm seeing a certain strategy here. But guys, what do you guys think of Metafide? Tell me what you think, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you next one.